Welcome to the Me Middleton Show, a place to encourage neo-spiritualists to laugh, love, and learn. As we virtually walk through the topics of the spiritual, magical, natural, and occultic worlds, I am your host, Evina, and you have now entered the Me Middleton Show. Here we are with today, 25. We are almost there. Here's today's topic. If it ain't about the money. Do everyone like money? Do you believe the answer is no? What is your personal relationship with money? As you would guess, there are shadows over here too. Let's explore these money shadows. Answer the following questions. When I lack money, when I have lots of money, when someone asks me for money, when the topic of money arises in my relationships, After you've written your responses down, ask yourself this question. Did your responses trigger any negative feelings, like anger, shame, or discomfort, embarrassment, or guilt maybe? If so, put a notation, like a star, next to your responses. You just might discover, if you're not cognizant of it already, that you hoard, ignore, or waste money. Is it possible that money is linked with your level of self-worth? Part 2 to this exercise, we're going to explore ways your money shadows may have impacted your life. How did your financial habits, compulsions, or insecurities have tainted the following? Friendships, relationships, self-esteem, self-fulfillment, and spirituality. And in the third part of this exercise, we're going to explore 3 ways to create financial harmony in your life. From the easiest to the more challenging, list your ideas down. List everything that you could possibly do to straighten out those financial hardships and turn them into financial harmonies. Let's come up with some great ideas. But let's start with the easiest way so that you can actively incorporate them into your life for at least 2 months. You know, it takes really, they say 30 days, they say 20 days, but it's really longer than that. It's really about a good 2-3 months to create a habit. So if you've created a habit in 30 days, that means you have a habit now. So you can do it for 60 days, right? You're going to prove that statement right or wrong. Let's go do it for 2 months. But my question to you is, can you dedicate yourself to that? I mean, it is your money after all. Do you find it difficult to come up with content ideas for your podcast? Or perhaps you've gotten stuck during an interview with a guest or you just have nothing to ask anymore. Try Poddex today. Poddex is the best all-in-one podcast idea generation tool. You get everything from episode ideas to interesting conversation starters for interviews, engaging discussions for your live streams, and even social media content ideas. With this tool, you don't have to spend weeks trying to come up with content for an episode or unique questions for your guests. Just shuffle the cards and pick one at random. Hit the record button and get started. Now, you can make better content, have more fun while you're at it, and get your viral moment, all with Poddex. Head over to poddex.com and use code C4C. Here we go. my turn to answer these questions. So the first part, there were 4 questions. The first, when I lack money, I do a spell and make some more. I can borrow money. I don't worry about it. Now, if I'm in a need, which that hasn't happened much lately, like some grandiose need of a lot of money to pay a bill or something to that extent. But I remember those days. I either asked for help or I went to my altar and went to work. I went to my ancestors and went to work. And these days, I strive not to stress about money. I strive for not expecting anything because I don't want to be let down. I just let the day is as the day does. This is not to say I don't create my day. That defeats the purpose of the TheMeMyddletonShow. But I also don't live in expectation either. So if I lack money, this is a day that I don't have money. So I'm either going to get some more money or I don't. Next one is, when I have lots of money, I pay bills, I invest in my education or in my business, I treat myself, I do that, I save money, I put it to the side, and I help people. I just don't go up and say, hello, Facebook world or social media world, I have extra money. I have extra money to give away. Come get it. Now, I don't do that. But if I'm able to help someone, that means I had extra money to give away. And I say give away because it's hard for people to pay back your money. People are always asking for money, and but then when you're ready to have your money back, I have to go through different vehicles to get my money back, like going to the altar or going to the shrine. So tell them people to give me my money back if I act up. So instead of doing that, I have to be in a space to where if I'm going to give you money, I gave you money. Loaning money, people don't pay it back. And again, that whole expectation thing, expecting people to do, to keep their word, to pay your money back. Yeah, that's just negative energy for no reason. So that's how I feel about if I have a lot of money. I'm either going to give it to someone that needs help. I'm saving it, putting it to the side. I treat myself. I pay bills. And I invest in my education and towards my business. When someone asks me for money, I should have said that last part about when someone asks me for money. Again, it really depends on who it is. Some people don't deserve it, so my answer is going to be a big flat out and happy, nope, I ain't got it. Not to say that I don't have money, but I don't have it for you. But for those who I see fit, or a spirit says, yeah, you can give them some money, then I give it to you. It would be a happy surprise to have it returned back. But I don't want to hold a promise or a debt or create some spiritual debt over somebody about some money. So I'm not going to stress about that. So if I'm going to make myself stress about that by giving away money, I set myself up for failure. So if I'm going to give away money, if someone asks me for money, then that's when I have a choice to either give it to you. And if you pay it back, great. If not, I don't expect it because I'm not living in expectation. Or if I don't give you money, well, that's what happens when someone asks me for money. And the fourth one, when the topic of money arises in my relationships. I mean, the topic of money just arises in the relationship. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. There are things in the relationship that needs to be discussed. Let's talk about it. However, several years back and before, it used to be really difficult to be like, okay, can we talk about money? More and more, I'm becoming more and more comfortable with talking about money. And it is to a point now where, okay, we need to sit and talk. This is what's going on. This is what we need to discuss. This is what we need to handle when it comes to money and relationship. I don't have a boyfriend, girlfriend type thing going on. I have a husband. So in a marriage, it's teamwork. So if we're going to be on the same page as a team, money is included, we're going to have to be on the same page as far as that. So that is his business when it comes to money. To have a healthy relationship, we have to be honest with everything that includes our money. So after those responses, I'm supposed to ask a question, which is, did my responses trigger any negative feelings like anger, shame, or discomfort, embarrassment, or guilt? Nope. I'm thankful for that. But had these questions been asked of me maybe 7+ years ago, probably. I will probably say that shame, discomfort on all of them. Shame on maybe a couple of them. And those couple, they might be when I lack money. I'm ashamed that I don't have money. I'm embarrassed that I don't have money. And I have to go through asking people for help or begging at the altar for help because I didn't do it right at the altar. I'm begging, and if it's in your will, and please help me. If it's in your will and your grace, I don't act like that these days. But back several years ago, yeah, probably. And it triggers on the other questions when I have lots of money. Probably embarrassment because I probably splurged it all and spent it incorrectly. Just burning money irresponsibly. Buying things I don't need. I think that would be the level of shame and guilt and embarrassment. When someone asks me for money, I would probably get a little angry. Like, why are you asking me for money? I ain't got no money. I'm broke. I'm homeless. I ain't got no money. I don't work. I don't make but small amounts of money per hour at my job. You know, I get offended. Like, why you would ask me for money knowing I'm struggling? So I think that would probably be my response back then. And when the topic of money arises in a relationship, I think a lot of hesitation, a lot of discomfort because of the training, I guess, during my upbringing about the ideals of money. But nowadays, for all of those questions, do I have any of those negative feelings triggered in me? Nah, I'm good. So, rather not if I hoard, ignore, or waste money. Several years ago, I definitely wasted a lot of money. I ignored the responsibility of money. I didn't use money wisely. I didn't use my time wisely. I didn't invest wisely. I splurged, I spent, and then developed these negative emotions around it after the fact. Can't say I hoarded money because I never gotten to a point of having so much money that I kept it to myself because I was always broke. Ignoring and wasting money would probably have been those shadow sides of myself about money with me. And the second part to this exercise is to find out about my financial habits, compulsions, or insecurities that may have tainted the following. Are there any ways my money shadows have impacted my life when it came to friendships? 20-some years ago, hanging out with my friends, we were very irresponsible with money. We used to rent cars left and right. Why am I renting a car when I could buy one? We eventually bought one. I eventually bought my car. But every time I looked up, we renting a car to drive around the same city we staying in instead of utilize that money to invest in stuff, developing a business, taking care of our kids. I mean, any other little thing that we could have done, we wasted it because we utilized that money to hang out for each other. buying alcohol, buying weed, buying hotel rooms, renting cars, just so we could stay in the same city. I see if we was going out of town, but no, we stayed in the same city so we could rent hotel rooms, have a little hotel parties, buying food and drinks and weed for everybody else who didn't pitch back in or support it or pay us back or pitched in on any level. Never. There are a lot of people who never gave back. It was always the same few friends, and I was one of those friends who spent money on making sure that everybody else was having fun. And none of us, until we got older, like in our late 30s, to finally realize, boy, wait a minute, we still messed up. We still living in our mama house. We're still living in, substandard situations instead of living, like adults. Because we had all these other strange ideologies about money. Like, we have these different item of expenses on our spreadsheet, pay the bills, take care of the kids. But one of those items were to make sure that we had alcohol money, we had weed money, and we went out money. And going out most of the times was going over to other friends' house and making sure we bought all of these, drugs and alcohol to have fun. Instead of changing that expense around, get rid of terrible habits and invest in ourselves to do better. And I hung out with friends that shared the same terrible upbringing with these terrible beliefs about money. So I think that's how those money shadows impacted my life with my friends back then. Now, nope, I don't have them problems. My whole circle completely changed. Nowadays with my friends, we talk about investing. We talk about building our businesses. We look at how to grow money. I have new circles of friends, so I don't go hanging out. I don't drink. I stopped smoking. I just don't do those things anymore. So, new friends. The second is relationships. Well, I'm with my husband. Other relationships, like business relationships, nowadays it's very similar to the first one. It's when it comes to friendships. We talk about personal development, whether if it's spiritual health, physical health, mental health, financial health. These relationships help build me. They help me to go in the light, not in the shadows. When it comes to money in my relationships with my husband and business partners or teachers, gurus, whatever, it impacted my life in a positive. Relationships back in the day was very similar. It was when it comes to people who are not interested in being ambitious or having goals, very similar to the friendship level that I just described. The next one, self-esteem. Ways that my money shadows may have impacted my life when it came to self-esteem. It was very low. My self-esteem was extremely low back in those days. I was always broke, and those broke days didn't give me the power or the confidence to stand up for myself in certain situations. Too many times I was supposed to clap back, stand up for myself, but I couldn't because I felt beneath people who had more money or had things more than I had. So it impacted me in a negative way. Nowadays, my self-esteem is not affected when it comes to money in that way. My self-esteem has gotten a lot better because I've seen my growth. I feel so much more confident. I feel a lot more powerful, I guess I could say. Even on days when I don't have money, I don't have that same terrible low self-esteem feeling. I don't have anything, so I can't say anything. Now, the devil's a lie. I wish a motherfucker would kiss every portion of my ass, both cheeks, both palms, the crack and the hole. Kiss it all. I don't care. I feel really good. Self-fulfillment when it comes to money. This journey towards attaining and living my purpose. Of course, money is not thought of as the everything. It's up there with oxygen. Yes, it is. It's important. We're going to be very clear. But in fulfilling my purpose, money is a resource that helps me to get to where I need to be. And I feel really confident to attaining or arriving to fulfilling my purpose. I'm fulfilling it now. And not just money, but all the other resources that are available to me at the time when I need it. I feel really good. I'm not totally fulfilled because I haven't arrived to my purpose, but I don't feel how I felt decades ago. Far from it. And spirituality. So growing up in a Southern Baptist church, we're taught all these different terrible things about money. Money isn't important. Money is the root of all evil. It's not. That I have to give it away to people who are less fortunate. How I do believe in helping those who are in need, because I remember being in need myself and needing that help. And there were gracious people who have helped me along the way, financially and through other resources. But nowadays, especially being a spiritual practitioner and coach, when it comes to money and my spirituality, they are tied together. To live a life of ecstasy and to life bend to my will instead of me bending to life's will. When it comes to money and spirituality, they're not linked in so much as how they used to be. Looking, shameful at money as if money done did something wrong to somebody. No, it's the individual person who is like a gun. So, depending on the person. So, I look at the individual person, not the actual money. So, the money and spirituality aren't so much tied together to me as it used to be. Money, with or without this resource, you can live a full, spiritual, enlightened life. Just know that money is abundant and flows to you easily and effortlessly from various known and unknown sources. And it comes to you on time. That's how I look at it, instead of downtrodden or looking sideways at money like money done did something wrong to me. Lastly, exploring ways to create financial harmony in your life. The easiest way I started finding financial harmony in my life is to, one, stop using these terrible, terrible lines of thought that was taught to me growing up. Just listening to motivational speakers that spoke about money. Just simply listening to every day. Listening to gurus like Susie Orman, or listening to other people who are financial experts on how to deal with money. And keep listening to it every day starts to reprogram my lines of thought about how I deal with money. Even my vocabulary. Just listening to these people changed my vocabulary. Instead of using the word debt or spending or paying bills, I think of terms of investment. I think of terms of ROI, return on investment. I think in terms of wonderful surprises. I think in terms of money being abundant. I think of money being a beautiful resource. I don't look at money like the way I used to anymore. So just simply listening to something that reprograms your line of thought, I think would be the absolute easiest to utilize to create financial harmony. That just begins it. And I think the next step would be changing money habits And, if I don't have to buy this expensive thing, I can do without or go a different route, something that costs less. Then I always ask myself, do I really need it? Do I really need it? Do I really need this? That helps out a lot too. Just changing the way I see things that I thought I didn't really need. That means that's more money that can go into savings. That's more money that I can use to invest in education, invest in developing my business. So the more money you have to the side, then people can't say, "Oh, I ain't got no money to invest in nothing," but you had money to go to the club. Did you really need to go to the club? Was it absolutely necessary? Is going to the club going to leave a legacy for your offspring, for your descendants later on? Is that bag or them shoes or those rims or that car, is that something to pass down to your children that, is valuable and powerful enough to help out your descendants, help out your offspring? I think in those terms now. So the less I spend on bullshit is the more I have for the good shit. And the third way for financial harmony is to actually pay off some debt. Coming from where I'm from, the line of thought or the mindset is, they tell me I owe some money. Well, I'm going to have to keep owing them some money because they ain't going to give me my money. I got to pay my bills with this money. It's like coming up with strange, snazzy cliches and excuses of why to behave stupidly or why to behave irresponsibly. And then when someone comes with the idea of how to behave responsibly, it's frowned upon. Like, you're supposed to act like a buffoon. You're not supposed to go and pay your bills. You're supposed to go spend it on at the club. You're supposed to go get your nails done. You're supposed to go get spend money on some trick or do, stupid shit with your money instead of investing. You had money to go do all that stupid shit, but you had no money to invest in yourself. So I think the third easiest thing to do is actually invest. Get some Bitcoin or something. Go take a course or something. That's my suggestion. Many of us grew up with debilitating quotes that were forced fed to us, like money don't grow on trees, money isn't that important, money is the root of all evil, and more money, more problems. Baby. There are many of us who still live by these debilitating cliches, but there are a growing number of us who are deleting those cliches and reprogramming how we see money. Yes, my upbringing was just like that. They wholeheartedly believed in those sayings, religiously, my parents did. After decades of continuing such terrible traditions, it took a lot of work to break free from that for me. Some folks broke free slower or faster than me. Their pace and minds are our own. If you still hold those false tales about money, join us in being free from the shackles of money shaming. Remember, money is only a resource, a tool, just like a weapon. A gun isn't evil, nor the root of it. It's a tool that can be used for both goodness and evil, depending on the person using it, not the tool itself. How silly is it to say that something is evil unless somebody put some ooga booga enchantment on it? Then you have an evil enchanted weapon or evil enchanted money. But until then, it's just a thing. So the choice is yours. You can use this resource for whichever way you desire. Just be ready for what comes with your choice. Choose wisely. Wasn't that fun? Did you learn anything? Did this episode stir up any questions, comments, or concerns? Send them over to TheMeMyddleton@gmail.com or leave a message on our website at www.helpbyevina.com, and I'll be more than happy to respond. Check out our bonus content by becoming a patron. There are 4 different patron tiers to choose from. This is to help upgrade our equipment. So, don't miss out on exclusive episodes and wonderful rewards for your patronage. If you're on Spotify, Podbean, Google Podcasts, Amazon, or any other favorite podcasting platform, make sure you like The Me Middleton Show and leave a comment. Tell us how much you love the show, what you don't like about it, how we can improve, and how we can be challenged. If you're listening to The Me Middleton Show on YouTube, make sure you comment, like, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell to be the first to get the newest episode. And remember, proper prior planning perfectly promotes persistent productivity and proud, pristine performances. Now, get out there and perform. Until next time.